Would you fight a person who is dead and they're the best at what you do and you want to prove your name? So you would battle them even if they resurrected from the ground? That's highly specific. I'm in Salad and I saw the Twilight Zone Season 3, Episode 5, A Game of Pool. It is directed by Buzz Kulik, written by George Peyton Johnson. If you haven't seen this episode, I'll spoil it for you. We're following a guy named Jesse. He is at the pool table all the time. He wants to prove that he's the greatest pool player, but there's this guy named Fats. Ugh, he's fat. How could he be so good at pool? Yeah, he's revered as the best pool player ever, and he's dead. Jesse's like, man, I would kill just to play against Fats and prove that once and for all that I am the better player than him. Fats is slumbered on a pool table in heaven, is like, well, I guess it's time for me to do this deal. Let me go down to Jesse. And he appears in front of Jesse, and Jesse's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. You're alive? He's like, no, I'm dead. I'm just here from heaven. Okay, guy, Jesse, here's the deal. If you win, you'll be the player that is the bestest of pool. If you lose, you're gonna lose your life. Pretty fair? Yeah, I think it's fair as a viewer. I'm like, okay, that is pretty tense. Those are some pretty high odds. Jesse is literally battling for his life. And so we got a very intense game of pool. We also learn why Jesse is so attached to pool. It's because when he was younger, he was so picked on by every single kid, and it was only pool which he felt like he was good at. So he's just been at the pool table, not having any sort of life. He's just constantly playing pool. He has no girlfriend. He has, how does he live? How does he have a job? He has no job. It seems like he's just at the pool table. He used to have this job. He struck up a deal with the owner of this pool place that he could play pool after hours because he just wants to get his grind on. And that's what Jesse's been doing pretty much his entire life. Since he was 15, now he's like in his mid-30s. And we have over here, Fats had an entire life before he died and was really good at pool. So who is better at pool? The one that can be really good and not have to show off all the time, but when push comes to shove, he can be the best when needed? Or somebody who slaves away at the craft and has not had any sort of life. His entire life is dedicated towards this pool. And he's good because of how many hours he's done. I guess it's talent versus hard work. What do you think? Who is the better pool player? Fats or Jesse? Let me know in the comments below. This big, tense game, it starts off with, it seems like Fats is letting Jesse win a little bit. And then Fats has like a lead. It's a pretty substantial lead, but it's not a big enough lead where Jesse can't get ahead and eventually win. And Fats is like, well, thank you so much. I don't have to deal with this burden anymore. I don't have to prove myself. You have to prove yourself, Jesse. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. When you're not the best at something, if you're not the apex of a certain career or something, you don't have to constantly fight for the apex spot. You don't have to prove yourself constantly. I'm sure Fats, every time someone was like, oh, I'm the best pool player, ooh, I bet every time somebody said that, he got up, maybe he was sleeping on the pool table the entire time, and every time someone says his name, mentions him, and wants to challenge him, he has to get up and battle them in a game of pool. How many times has he had to do that? No more. Who cares how many times he has to do that? He doesn't have to do it anymore. And now Jesse does. Even when he's dead, he still has to prove that he's the best pool player. And I really like that a lot. There's a double-edged sword to being the best at something. You're the best, yes, but you have to constantly prove that you're the best, because when you're the best, there are other people who are like, man, I am the best, actually, and I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove that I'm the best at what this is, that this other person is not. And so you're going to have a lot of competitors who are just as agile as you or have different advantages, and you might be weak against those. until, uh-oh, you're no longer the best. That Apex is a very competitive spot. Very stressful, just like watching this episode. I loved watching this episode. What a good one. If you haven't seen this episode, I think you definitely should. This episode is a banger. It's a good lesson too. If you're at the top of a field, you're going to have to constantly prove yourself, and that's going to be stressful. But not having to prove yourself is going to be less stressful if you've had a life, you know. If you're like Jesse, I feel like if you are no longer great, if you're no longer the best, then you're gonna have some sort of crisis of person, a personal crisis, as you will, because identity crisis, because everything that he's done is about Pool, and if he's not the best, then why did he live? And I know that Fats doesn't have to deal with that because he had a life. If you haven't seen this episode, you should. I gotta give this an 8.8 out of 10. Mosquitoes are eating me. I don't like the mosquitoes. If you like this review, watch another one on the platform and like set $20 Dinos at patreon.com/ASEPresents for 1 month review for 1 month. If I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't seen it at all. So get the Patreon requested at patreon.com/ASEPresents. Also, support the Daily Grindness by going to autisticboobs.com so you can go here. And until next time, mint salad saw. I'll see you later. My salad croutons and bacon bits.